What advice would you give to a new mom and a new dad?
One day at a time. One day at a time. Or even if you have to take it 1 second at a time, you're not going to master it all. You're not. And your baby crying is not the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. That's just their way of communicating. And don't take that personally. Don't take it to offense that, if your baby's screaming that you're doing something wrong. No, you're doing it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Not Another Relationship Podcast for another episode, a special episode. Today, obviously, you see, this is not Neil. I'm joined by my lovely mom, Sharon. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Nicole.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
She's a little nervous, as you can see, but we're going to warm her up a little bit. As most of you know, I recently gave birth to this beautiful human right here who's sleeping. And my mom became a first-time grandmother. How do you feel, sis?
Excited. Exuberating.
Lovely word. So today we're actually going to take a trip down memory lane of when I first told my mom that I was pregnant. I think I was maybe a little over 2 months when I told her. And I didn't want to wait 2 months, just that my mom and I live in 2 different states. And I wanted to tell her in person, and I wanted it to be a very special moment because this was her first grandchild. I am my mom's first child, and our story of how I became her daughter is actually a very special one as well. After years of trying, I was her promised baby, and her and my dad had prayed for years to have a child, and eventually, God fulfilled the promise. So I feel like Nova is also that fulfillment of the promise that God made to you and my dad. So yeah, of course, I couldn't just tell her over the phone, hey, Mom, I'm pregnant. So I decided to tell her in person. So today we're going to watch the video. We'll share it with you guys. You'll see her reaction. I don't think you've ever seen this video.
I don't know.
I don't think you have. So it's her first time watching her reaction over again. And then we're going to talk about, where we are currently in our mommy granddaughter journey, I guess, together. So yes, this is me telling my mom I'm pregnant when I travel back home to New York. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
You having a baby? You having a baby? Get it out! Oh my gosh! Yay! Yay! Oh, you know what? This is crazy. Because I was just thinking about this yesterday. And you up there walking around like that. Oh my gosh.
I was telling Brittany, I was like, I have a belt on, and this baby was like, girl.
Oh my good. I'm gonna be a grandma. Nana. Oh, boo. Who came up with the idea to do this?
We Okay, well that's the end of that. Oh, that was funny. And then she got a call literally within 5 minutes after us watching that video, and I think it was Uncle Derek. And he was like, I'm gonna be your grandma. Yes. And he had called to do some work on the house, and he goes, wait, what? And she's like, I'm gonna be your grandma. So anybody that called her within maybe 2-4 hours of that video that we recorded, she was just super excited to tell them, and it was so funny to just watch her reaction.
How can you keep that to yourself?
I know. What was the first thing that went through your mind when you saw the pregnancy test?
The first thing that first of all, I was in a state of shock. I was just in a state of shock, but I was just so happy because another generation is started in the family, and just considering the environment or the season we are in of a pandemic, and for God to bless our family, especially when we had a death in our family, that was very shocking out of the blue. And then for God, he's just so amazing that he can just turn your sorrow into joy just suddenly. And so that's, I was just overcome with just shock and just excitement, you know, because I know you and Neil did not want the pressure on you guys when you first got married. So I had said to myself that I would not bring it up. Just let God be God in this situation. And if you want to make God laugh, you just give him your plan. And he'll have to always this last say so in the matter.
So basically, God is just laughing hysterically at Neil and I because clearly here we are with a child. And yes, my mom did not pressure me at all. Actually, my mom was one of the only people that did not talk to me about children after we got engaged. So that was actually really refreshing because I didn't feel like I had to push out a kid immediately for her to feel like, oh my gosh, you know, now you've done it. You've done it the right way. You got married. She didn't do any of that. She just was really encouraging and super supportive. One of the other things that I found so funny was, I think it was like May, right before the wedding. I was on the phone with you during one of my walks, and I was talking to you about Neil and I getting a dog. And you're like, I'm going to be a dog, Grandma. I was just like... In my head, I'm thinking, oh, she really wants a baby, but she'll settle for a dog. So she's like, I'm going to buy all these clothes. And I'm just like, she wants a baby so bad, but I'm going to let her be great. And again, just super supportive, not pushing me to have a baby or anything like that. So I love her so much for just being patient with me. And it's even funnier, the day before we were at an event. And we were at an event that my grandmother was throwing, and somebody comes up to me and is like, so when are we going to start having children? And mommy goes, no. We're not pressuring her. We're going to give her time. And in my head, I'm like, I'm pregnant right now. Like, she doesn't know. I hope I don't show this on my face. So, yeah, again, super supportive and really protective. Now, as far as when you thought I was going to have kids, because in our family, I'm kind of like the career-driven one, and a lot of people didn't think I was going to get married, for one. Then when I did get married, they're like, oh, she's not going to have kids for a really long time, if she even has kids. So did you ever think, like, I would have kids this soon, or, like, did you think, like, oh, Nicole will do what she wants to do?
Well, you know what? I just didn't dwell on it. I really didn't. I was just happy for you and Neil. And whatever God says for what he has promised or planned for you two, I'm in agreement with it. So I just did not dwell on it. Of course, it was in my mind to be a grandma. But again, I didn't dwell on it. I just wanted you guys to just enjoy your marriage and enjoy each other. And what God had for you is for you both. And again, I'm in agreement with it.
Very much so in agreement. That you were in the delivery room when I gave birth.
Yes.
Which was a very sacred and special moment for the two of us.
Are you gonna cry? Yeah. Wait a minute. I don't want to get emotional. Don't do this to me. Don't ask me that question. Okay, let me get my whole self together.
I'm weak.
Okay.
You
all right.
Okay?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys watched the last episode, you know that I was literally holding all the muscles that I might have had left to wait to push until my mom got into the labor and delivery room. And I kept asking Neil, I was like, where's my mom? Where's my mom? Because I have no idea where my phone is at this point. And plus, how am I going to be texting and calling anybody while I'm going through these crazy contractions? So he's letting me know, like, she's going to be here. She's coming. She's in the elevator. And so I'm like, okay.
And can I interject?
Yes.
Your mom, your sister and I were here at your home preparing for her placenta.
Encapsulation.
Yeah,
they were also like going out making sure that we had grocery.
Yes.
We went grocery shopping a couple of days before. But my mom's like an avid grocery shopper. So if one thing is not in the fridge, she's going grocery shopping all over again. So she went grocery shopping again. And then they also were out getting us push gifts. So they were running around all of Baltimore County, like trying to make sure that everything was situated and right together before we got home. So she was doing her due diligence as far as make sure her granddaughter was good and her son-in-law and her daughter were good. So she finally gets there, and this is maybe like 2-3 minutes after the doctors bum rush in, and I see her, and I'm just like an emotional wreck because I know the sacrifices that my mom put in. Well, I have a glimpse of them. I can't tell you like what it felt like for her to sacrifice it, but I know I saw it. And it took me a long time to actually recognize it publicly to you. And I think that's with most kids. When you grow up very privileged, like you're just like, oh, this is normal. My life is so hard when my parents are disciplining me. But something happened at 25 and I called her one Sunday and I'm like, I am so sorry. And she goes, for what? And I'm like, because I thought my life was so hard and you didn't understand anything. And she goes, Nicole, yeah, I know, it's fine. Like, it's just like, it's parenting. And I think the moment I realized that, you know, my parents were human and she's fine. This is what I'm dealing with at my house. But yeah, the moment I realized my parents were human is the moment I felt like I could love them even better because it just made us closer. So yeah, when she walked in, it was like, oh, my hero walked in and I can finally do this. So she comes over to my bedside. My doula's on one side and my mom's on the other, and Neil is trying to like get footage and stuff, and I think I'm at my last push and I'm like, I can't do it. And my mom goes, you can do this. You absolutely can do this. And she puts her head against my head and she holds just bear down. Yeah. And I'm on my last push. Like the baby side's already out. Most of her body's already out. And I give it everything I have. And she's holding my hand and Nova's finally all the way out and they put her on top of me. And yeah, it took the wind out of me to have that moment with my mom. I'm not crying. And
well, first I'd like to just say thank you to my son-in-law because he was the one who said, Mom, you want to come switch? And I said yes. And so I say thank you to him because he didn't have to do that.
Yeah. And
that was a great moment. Again, I'm about to cry again because this is too emotional for me. You know, you went through this thing. It's so emotional. Okay, so let me get my whole self again together. Okay.
You good? You good?
I'm good.
Okay, so what was it like being in that moment? What was that moment like for you? It's okay. I know you don't like crying. It's okay.
I don't like being emotional, especially in
Human
front of everybody.
Human beings are emotional.
Yes, but not in front of everybody.
Oh, God, girl. That's fine.
But that moment, it's indescribable, tell you the truth. You really can't put that moment in. There's no words for it. It's indescribable. I just know it's like a burst of love. And it's really you really see, like, just to see her seeing Nova being born, like, if you don't believe in God, you just seeing that, you believe God, because no man can do that. Like, for her to be conceived and then for her to be from a seed and sperm coming together and then seeing an actual human being come out and in time, like at a set time. You know that's God. Like they have no responsibility for that. And so in that time, like I said, it's the words is there's no words for it. It's just indescribable. But you know that there is a God.
I agree with that. And I think for me, going through each contraction and being very like audible about like not sure if I could do it, whatever, and then pushing her out naturally was a lot. Hello. Okay, she's back. No? This is so like Nova. Okay, she's good now. She's back to sleep, I think, for now. Yeah, to push her out naturally and to feel all of that at the same time, I was like, there has to be a God, because I don't have this strength on my own. Like, that's a supernatural strength. So to go outside of myself.
That was really on point. When
What?
she started crying.
I know.
Like she was just born. And then she just, because that's how she sounded when she was born.
It did. So now that I'm a mom. So we had a little kerfuffle. Nova got hungry. This is what happens when you have a newborn. You know, they take over, they interrupt, and they just change your lives for the better. But, you know, they go at some their own drum. So that's what happened. So back to what we were saying. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, we have now, I think we're almost in week 2 of me being a mom officially. What has it been like watching me be a mom to Nova?
Oh, it's a joy. Well, at first, you know, being a mom, you know, you just, you know, you want to put, you know, and a grandma, first time grandma, you just want to be in there, you want to help out, but then you have to pull back. Everybody's parenting skills is different.
Yeah.
And there's a different day and time too. And it's a learning experience because there's no parenting manual, you know. I just realized that, you know, even when I gave birth to Nicole, to you, was that I had to also, although my mom was there with your dad and I, like wanted to oversee that what I was doing was correct. But you have to take it day by day. I think you're doing a wonderful job. You and Neil are doing a great job.
Thank you.
And of course, I'm always like, can you put the receiving blanket on? But they know. They just know their daughter. They know. So I just sit back and I just observe.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Oh, okay. Sometimes.
Well, no, I will say most of the time she does sit back. But then there are other times, like if we're going to the doctor's office, Nova has to be dressed to the nines. So hair bow, onesie, pants, all the things have to match. And it looks like she's going to church. And she's just going to the doctor's office. I'm just like, why? We've had plenty of deliveries sent to our house of new outfits for Nova. And I'm just like, more pink? I don't even like pink. More pink?
Oh, God.
She's like, she has to have pink. She's a little girl. But it's fine. And then if Nova's like crying,
It's not fine because she's complaining about
it's fine. I realized I have to give mommy space because, again, this is her first grandchild. And I want her to experience all the things. I want her to be excited. I want her to have this moment because you're not going to get this moment back. You know what I mean? Like, you only get your first one time.
Right.
And because my dad's not here, I feel like I have to spoil my mom a little bit extra because, yeah, she's the one that has really stepped up to do it by herself. And yeah, like, I know that she'd want to experience this moment with him. So I try to, like, remind myself, okay, Nick, give her this time. Give her this space. because she, you know, she deserves it, you know? And I want her to be excited. I want her to have this amazing relationship with my daughter. And I know that Nova is so well loved. If there's anything I know without a shadow of a doubt, is that there are two things. One, that my sister and I are so well loved by my mom, and there's nothing that she wouldn't give for us. But then when it comes to this little girl here, forget about it. Forget about it. Brittany and I are chopped liver. Like, Nova is everything. So like I said, I have to give her that space and that time and that moment. And also, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it comforts me knowing that if I'm in the house and I'm overwhelmed and mommy hears Nova crying, she'll come and be like, do you need help? Can I take her? And I'm like, yes, you can take her. So knowing that I have that help, it does mean a lot. So while, yeah, sometimes just like, all right, Sharon, all right, I do appreciate you. I do. I really, really do. What's something that you want Nova to take away from you? Like, if it's an attribute or a lesson that you taught me growing up as a kid, or a principle?
To be calm and not to react so quickly. Mm-hmm. And also don't compare yourself to social media. Yeah. Although there might be some valid information, but just don't compare yourself. Always seek God first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he will give you the wisdom. Holy Spirit will give you the wisdom that you need. But what's so important, to be calm and don't respond so quickly.
Okay. How have you seen that play out in me being Nova's mom currently? If you have or have not.
Well, I think you're getting better at it because Nicole has a tendency.
Neil is cracking up off camera.
Nicole has a tendency to respond to the 10th power. So, she's getting better. Hopefully, she is hearing in her head when something happens that didn't go according to her plan, that she will take a moment to just stay still. Because she is, she's been quick to respond to the umpteenth time. And when you way up there, you can make it even worse than what it is. So that's one thing I would say with, if I was to say something to her now,
play out in action.
Was to be calm. What happened?
You were to see that play out in action. So this is what it looks like. Nova, obviously her first couple of days, she's learning how to latch. And I'm learning how to breastfeed. We've both never done this before. So we get home. It's our second day together. And it's our first day back home. And I'm trying to get her to latch. And I'm like, patience. And then mommy goes, I hope you're telling that to yourself. I'm like, okay, sis. She's like, no, because sometimes you really need to have patience with yourself and others. And in my head, I'm like, did she really just do this to me in the middle of me having a meltdown? But it was funny because then I was like, well, maybe she's right. I need to have a little bit of patience with myself too. So as I'm saying this affirmation to my daughter, I'm also saying it to myself. And I'm also learning how to put it into practice. So actually,
that's good.
I think it was either this morning or yesterday. I don't remember because all the days look the same together these days. Something was going on and I was just in a rush to do it or handle it or whatever. And I heard myself in my head rocking Nova saying patience, a little bit of patience. And it helped. It helped a lot. And I'm not going to say like it's going to be easy moving forward for me to always, remember that. But I think it was a pivotal moment for me. And I've said this numerous times. I think God gave me Nova to teach me so many things, but definitely patience is one of them. And I don't think I would be on the path to know what patience looks like right now in this season of my life and why I need it if I did not have my daughter. So for that, I am grateful For sure. I'm definitely grateful. What's one thing Nova's teaching you?
Not to be so busy. You know, to do less. And to appreciate the day, be present in the day. Because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And so I deem that a lot of people worry about the tomorrows and don't even appreciate the blessing of the day that you have been given. And what does that really say to God when you're not even present in the day? You know, you're not rejoicing, you're not being glad, you know, you're not showing him appreciation that he even blessed you with this day. And actually the day that you're in was the future. It was once a tomorrow. And so yeah, she has taught me not to be so busy, because when I'm home I'm very busy. I'm either on the phone, I'm in, like, really counseling someone.
Woman
I'm visiting someone, or someone needs something and I'm trying to make it happen for them. And sometimes they don't even know that I'm even, you know, because that's...
Or she's in the gym for 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah,
it's either
I love the gym.
She's helping people in the gym or at the grocery store, finding new products at Aldi's.
Yeah.
And then calling her daughters like, hey, did you know Aldi's had this? And I'm like, yeah, I shopped there too. So it's funny, like, you retired very early. You were very young when you retired. And that in and of itself is a blessing.
Yes.
And then to watch you now, I feel like sometimes you're busier now than you were when you were working.
Yeah, so that's what... you asked me the question.
Yes.
What has Nova taught me?
Yes.
Nova taught me to be calm and not to be busy.
Yeah.
To be present in the day, and just to take a moment. Sometimes you just need... When I go out to walk, I enjoy God's splendor. Like, even just looking up at the sky, like, who put the cloud there? Like, who did that?
Yeah.
Only the hand of God. Only the wisdom of God did that. And sometimes we just take things for granted. Just breathing, we take for granted sometimes, you know? So, yeah, that's what she taught me.
Okay.
Thank you, Nova.
Oh, gosh. All right, so we're getting towards the end mark, and normally Neil and I ask each other, what have you learned? But I want to ask you if you have any questions for me about this season of my life or anything like that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. What do you appreciate?
With
the experience of now being a first-time mom, what do you appreciate?
I think it goes back to what you were just talking about, simplicity and taking that in, because I think, yeah, like I love my career. Everybody knows that. I'm very invested in my career, and it's so fast-paced, and sometimes I have the tendency to overlook my actual real life. So, yeah, like, just even checking in on my husband sometimes, I'm like, that's an afterthought, because I'm so focused on, okay, let's get this done, let's do this, let's do that. So definitely having Nova and being married to a very simple person that doesn't ask for a lot, it's taught me to take it all in and to appreciate the little things, because they're here today and gone tomorrow. And I look at Nova and I see how long she's already grown, and she's already 2 weeks old, and she's changing and growing and gaining, like, healthy weight. So I'm just like, 2 seconds from now she's gonna be going off to college, and I'm gonna be a nervous wreck because I blinked and she was an adult. So if there's anything I've learned in this season is to definitely appreciate the little things and also protect my peace.
Yes.
Which is something my mom has taught me, or tried to teach me, my entire life, and I'm just now understanding what she meant by that. Motherhood and being pregnant, it definitely teaches you need a different kind of level of peace. So
yeah. And you have to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they are. What advice would you give to a new mom and a new dad?
One day at a time. One day at a time. Or even if you have to take it 1 second at a time, you're not gonna master it all. You're not. And your baby crying is not the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. That's just their way of communicating. And don't take that personally. Don't take it to offense that, if your baby's screaming that you're doing something wrong. No, you're doing it. That's just their way of communicating. So take it one day at a time. Your level of parenting or your way of parenting isn't going to be like somebody else's. There are certain things that I do like my mom and certain things that I don't do like my mom. Majority of them I do like my mom because that's all the mothering I've ever known. But yeah, I want more parents to be patient with themselves and realize that you don't have to save your kid from everything. You're human. And I think the more parents are transparent about who they are with their kids and some of their shortcomings, the better their children will end up becoming. Because I think that's what happened with us. Like, when I knew more of my mom's story, the more I was able to appreciate her, not just as my mom, but as a woman. And I think that opened up a different level of our relationship that led us to where we are today, which is a very healthy one, I think.
I just say be patient with yourself, and both of you to be patient with yourself and be patient with Nova. You both are doing a wonderful job. You're doing an excellent job breastfeeding, but just be patient and with yourself and celebrate your wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Mom, as we conclude our Mother's Day episode, I want to say thank you. Not just for being here, because obviously you being here has been the best, but for being my mom and journeying through this life with me. I'm 28, gonna be 29, and I look back on my life and I'm like, wow, I've lived a life. And yes, we've had we've lost people, we've had some, dark times, but there's always somebody that has been consistently there, and it's been my mom. And I thank you for that. I thank you for showing up when I didn't know that I needed you to show up. I thank you for being honest with me about your story and what that did for me and how it grew me. I can't even explain to you, but thank you for not just also being my mom, but my friend, and for being a human. That means a lot. That has a lot of gravity. So thank you for that. I love you very much.
Well, thank you for giving me my grandbaby.
I told y'all I'm chopped liver. I'm chopped liver.
You're so welcome, Nova. Thank you for Nova.
Of course.
Yeah.
The best gift I could have given you anyways. Well, thank you guys.
You are my gift.
Oh.
You're my first gift.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna cry?
No. I'm not gonna do it. Nicole wants me to cry again. She likes to do these things to make me emotional.
I do. It does something to me. I can't explain it. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning into this week's episode. I hope that you guys are able to get something out of this and even share it with your own mom. Maybe sit down and watch it with your mom. As always, the music that you are listening to is from Nova's uncle, Kadeem Nichols. We love him, and we hope that you check him out and support his music. We have all of his information linked down below. Until then, stay safe, love on your mama, appreciate your mama. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.